Well, welcome to this esports 5 versus 5 team challenge. My name is Webbo, and I'm here to take you through a battle on track between the QRT team and the GSP team, the German sim racing program team. And you'll see the different liveries on play. We've got 5 versus 5 battle for you. The drivers are in Spa. My apologies that it's taken a few minutes to get the stream running, but it's can't be helped with the schedule tonight. We are live online for you, and hoping that you're going to enjoy tonight's race. Competing then for QRT, we have Marison, Stephen, Jabraka, Marin, and 83S. I should say, and for GSP we have Ruffy, I think Ralph, Philip, Behrman, and Justin, and they'll be fighting out there for bragging rights. And we've got a short qualifying session for you. It's a super short qualifying session for you on the stream, of course, with a little bit of a late beginning. So my apologies on that front, but hopefully we will get the business end in action for you. Spa circuit here in Belgium, one of the great classics of F1 racing. Good for overtaking, good for seeing drivers right on the very limit. And Ruffy with the first fastest lap out there, a 42.0. Very closely matched by his two teammates, Ralph and Philip, 42.0 all the way around. And then we have just 2 tenths back, Marison and Stephen, 3 tenths back. If you're joining us on the stream, do say hello. Tell us who you're here for and what insights you can give us into the strategy of the drivers. Of course, I'm not expecting any secrets to be given away. Hopefully you're ready to enjoy a good evening of racing with us. Let me just do the honours and tweet out to socials so everybody knows where to find us here tonight. See you very shortly. So Jabraka on his next attempt. I think that they're going to use a little bit of slipstreaming behind Marison here. Hoping, I'm sure, to try and get themselves a tow and some help up the order. Jabraka invalidating this one though, unfortunately. We'll join Behrman. So we've got some similar colour selections, but very different liveries on hand. I did say I'd be looking out for a little bit of a style points or style comments, so we'll get into that in a short while. Behrman heading through his second sector. Ruffy still holds that provisional pole position. So half the field have set a time, very close to one another. Half the field yet to have set a time, with less than half of our session remaining. Hopefully all will go a little bit smoother for everybody and they'll get representative times in. But the worst thing that can happen is that you start 10th, and that's not a bad place to start a race. Anyway, Ryan joins us on stream. Hi Ryan, working as hard on YouTube as I am tonight. He's here supporting Stephen, it looks like. Behrman, a 42.337, the slowest set time so far out there. Jabraka is currently on a lap, as is Marine, but he's coming into the pits. A new fastest lap from Ruffy, he goes 41.8. Running very wide there, looked almost a deliberate line choice. And an invalidation through Lafagna. And how many times do we see people invalidate in Lafagna? It's not an easy place to be at all. 83S. On a good lap. Ryan says that Stephen's in the same league as him in a Dutch league. Good. Who else is here to watch the race today? And what insight can you give me into the drivers to look out for? Obviously, Ruffy, Philip, and Ralph looking like the guys on the pace so far. Forgive me if my voice gives out tonight. It's been a long night here. So Stablo to deal with for 83 successfully. Pole time for Ruffy. Now drivers mostly just waiting for a good opportunity in the pits to try and get a nice traffic-free run. Late braking down into the bus stop for 83, but he's on his way into the pit box. I wonder if Jabraka is on target to set a lap here. You've got to be careful with your session management, and that's not going to work for Jabraka. All the pressure on his final run then. And let's get a little look at the QRT livery. Very Ferrari-like. Good. I'll be looking to see if our podium runners are wearing matching race suits as well. Very important. Two teams who are certainly in a new part of their branding. I'm sure no one is new to team esports or league racing who are part of the makeup, but in terms of seeing how the teams get along with each other, how they market themselves and brand, and how the team management is working, that all remains to be seen. I know we've got plenty of people in the session here who are engineering or otherwise. So Jabraka is very slow here. He's still not set that time, and we've got outlaps from Marine and from Stephen. Marine on track a long way up the road ahead of Stephen, so we'll give Marine a little bit of screen time. I'm waiting to see one of these GSP cars close up. I do like that. It's a nice subtle car scheme. I'd probably say they've probably just about got the edge on style points from me for the car, at least. Marine has got an invalid outlap, but that's all. What are your opinions watching in the chat on the liveries? Are you a bold and bright colour scheme fan, or more of a understated, smooth pinstripe kind of look to it as the GSP guys have got? Back then with Marine, who's about to start his flying lap and final attempt. Everyone on their final attempts Jabraka hasn't got onto his outlap yet. I think he's just keeping running. I think he's going to try and set a lap on old softs. 3 laps on his softs. I haven't had a weather update. I'm hoping to get one, but I haven't had one yet. Alright then, heading towards the Les Calmes corners, and then Malmedy, which car will always understeer through. Now into Rivage, hairpin-like corner, very wide. Then we have No Name, getting the car tucked in, looking like a pad driver possibly here, or someone with a connection issue as we head then towards Pouhon. A little bit of counter steer on the first part of Pouhon, but avoids that inside curve, which is treacherous and the scene of many an accident. Les Fagnes come next. Nicely through there. The wall's closing in Les Fagnes. Now we're into Stavelot. Jabraka has obviously pushed a little bit too hard and has been disqualified, so will definitely start at the back, regardless of whether the remaining 3 drivers manage to get themselves to the end of this one. Marine then just has the bus stop to deal with, and then we'll try and cut to the other drivers finishing up their laps. Marine sprints for the line, and it's a 42.4. Not incredible. Let's be fair. Ruffy has passed through the first sector, as has most of the drivers. Ruffy looking to try and finish this one off, as we have a QRT driver about to finish his lap. Let's see what he can manage. Ruffy staying valid though. Stephen goes fastest, betters the gap by 1/100th of a second. Stephen a 41.860, ruining the GSP party at the moment, but Ruffy's going even quicker, and quicker enough if he can consolidate this one to steal back that pole position. Looks like Ruffy might have it as Ralph goes faster than both of them. Ralph with a 41.7. I'm not sure that Ruffy has quite got that in him through sector 2. It needs to be a good one through sector 3. Ruffy closing out the bus stop, finishing off the lap. Will it be even faster? Will it be a new pole? Yes, a 41.685 for him. Left on track is 83 coming down to the bus stop. Can he get in amongst it near the front of this grid? 83 then for the line. And the last one to cross the line, and unfortunately it was the last one to cross the line, and I didn't see where he finished, unfortunately. But Ryan, yeah, celebrating Stephen on pole. And Ryan needing to get himself into a team, I think, and start getting on terms with the rest of the drivers. Well, Ruffy takes the pole position. It's a very German-looking GSP team. German-looking grid, shall we say. GSP, obviously the German team. But Ruffy getting that pole position from Ralph. So a lockout on the front for GSP. Then Stephen and QRT's 83. Followed by the rest of the GSP drivers, Philip, Justin, Behrman, and then QRT follow up with 8th, 9th and 10th, Marison, Marine and Jabraka, who was disqualified from our session. Looking forward to a good team versus team battle here. Normal F1 points remain, and I don't know if Ryan feels like it, but he could do me a solid and do me some live points updates, maybe halfway through or after the first pit stops or something. That would be pretty cool, and maybe an update at the end of the race. I could really do with a little bit of help from someone, whether that's Jendrik or from Ryan on live points. Standard F1 points scheme, 1st to 10th. Of course, points for everybody because it's a 10-car grid. We'll be hoping to get that. I wonder if Jendrik also might drop in a line just on the weather forecast. It is Spa after all. A reminder then, this is Webbo. you're on my channel, but Webbo Red 5 on Twitter and everywhere else, Discord, Gmail even if you feel like it. And if you do want to book my services, then you certainly can do. Give a little subscribe to the channel, and I'll try and get some more videos and edits up for you as well, as much as possible. Just waiting for, I think, everybody to get organised in the paddock. Hopefully be with you very shortly. We won't have any issues out there on this lovely game with its tendency toward glitches. Still waiting. Here we go, countdown on its way. And I hope we've got a formation lap, but I wasn't able to double check that for you. No, I don't think we have a formation lap. Yes, we do. There we go, away for the formation. Go the drivers. Ruffy in the lead with Ralph. Good to have a teammate next to you. What I often say, the good thing about these team battles is that you have lots of teammates around you to help you out, and the bad thing about these team battles is that you've got lots of teammates to trip you up and cause problems. So always difficult to navigate. So Ruffy and Ralph, 22 laps, and they'll hope to finish roughly around where they started. Stephen, 83, have something to say about it, but slipstreaming will be a big factor in today's race, I'm sure. Jabraka needing to try and make best of this. Of course, he gets the option to start on mediums, and if he can stay on terms with the rest of the drivers, that's only going to help him out. Welcome to anybody who's joining us towards the start of this race. Let me know if you've heard a weather forecast, and spam the chat if you want to with any comments or insight into drivers' strategies. If you spot something that I'm not talking about on stream, I've only got 2 eyes myself, and they're not brilliant, but I'm hoping to try and give you the best stream possible. Nice to see 2 groups of teammates paired together on the track. Should make for an interesting one. This is QRT versus GSP. As I say, relatively new teams, but not by any chance new drivers to the sport. Hopefully we'll be underway for you very soon. Pole position, Ruffy gets the inside line against Ralph. And we are 5 lights out and go away from the start. A fairly tardy start from Ralph as Stephen looks to get up the inside into La Source. It looks like Ralph will have a good traction opportunity on the way out of this one, but getting away comfortably so far, as they were from the start away. It's exactly the start order as they go down the Camel Straight for the first time, and hopefully we will see some action as they head in towards Les Combes. Bit of slipstreaming happening already. Ralph getting close to his teammate. Nobody making moves just yet. Everybody cautious. This is a long and treacherous run as we head towards the Malmedy corner for the first time at race speed. medium tyres, remember, on the back of Jabraka's car could prove very useful later on in the race. You see actually the yellow reflections of the trackside colour scheme really showing up on the black gloss cars of the GSP team. It looks very cool when that happens. Nice effects. And Marison now being passed by Jabraka down there. Jabraka making one place up, and that's been all the action we've seen so far for overtakes. But very early days in this Belgian Grand Prix 5 versus 5 battle. Yellow flag going through Stavelot, but everyone making it out the other end safely, and they head down towards the bus stop for the first time. Looks like 83 and Stephen the closest drivers to each other as they try and stay on terms before the inevitable DRS will be enabled later. Of course, these long straights really helping the drivers stay within sight of each other as Marison pits and might be going for a different strategy here. Nothing to lose that back there, and I wonder if that's an engineer call. Down, surviving last source, and now it's Eau Rouge as 83 closing in on his teammate. Of course, there's no individual winners to speak of in these battles. It's all about the overall team result, and it's pretty evenly split at the moment. I think GSP probably have the edge on the points count back, but we will see. Starting to draw up to the back of 83 comes Philip for GSP here. Super calm and controlled this first 2 laps, but I don't think it's going to stay that way. You see Marison has got that 23-second gap to the car in front, having pitted, and Jabraka up to 8 has managed to get past Justin as well. So Jabraka, a bit of a surprise because his qualifying didn't go well at all, but he's moving up the field already, and those softs won't last forever at these speeds around Belgium. So DRS train forming then between from first all the way down to 7th place, very much staying on terms with one another. And of course Ralph will have DRS in defence of Ruffy, who gets the fastest lap on the end of lap 2. But Stephen hoping to capitalise then. It's going to be very difficult to navigate these corners and DRS zones with so many teammates around you. Looks like 83 getting a fantastic run through Eau Rouge. Stephen's jigging about on the track a little bit there. So you can see the cars just stalling out with one another as they head towards the Lake Com corner. No way through for 83 on the back of his teammate Stephen. Jabraka half a second back from Justin. Might have an opportunity using the DRS as well. Marison just closing by about half a second on that lap on the fresh mediums. Medium tyres probably won't make the end, I don't think, of the race. So interesting. I thought if he was pitting then he would have been pitting for hards, but it's gone a different way. Obviously, no penalties yet, and you can see Orion and Jabraka having moved up. I think Justin's got back past Jabraka, in fact, from the start. Now, 83, again, closing on the back of his teammate. I wonder if he'll be asked to be released from this situation. Like maybe he's got the speed, and he's certainly going to be scrubbing those tyres more, being stuck behind his teammate. Hi to Alex, hi to Erdiro and Ryan, of course, who've joined us on the live chat. I know there's more people watching, so do say hello. Tell us who you're here to support. And yeah, Erdiro says GSP, let's go. And again, we'll just watch with 83, who was very strong through Eau Rouge last time out. Super calm on the steering inputs. Tucked right up behind his teammate, as is Ralph up ahead with Ruffy. 83 getting so close here, and a purple first sector for 83. Does it sound, when I say 83, does it sound like the number's 83? I think it probably does. Maybe that's deliberate. Thanks for the likes so far on the video. Do like the video if you can for us. It's very useful. A small way you can say thank you. It's getting tense up there at the front with, again, just about the way things started, although Marine and Jabraka having made up a place so far. 4 laps in. Ruffy continues to lead by just half a second from Ralph Stephen, 83, Philip Behrman, Marine, Justin, and Jabraka. Perhaps Jabraka will have an opportunity to get back past Justin, but really this DRS train is definitely going to be causing an issue for the drivers. Of course, it will help everybody just to take it easy on the softs on these few laps here. C83 just cannot get quite there on his teammate. I think he got within about just under a tenth last time, as Ruffy is overtaken by Ralph and released from this situation. Ralph fancying he's got a bit more speed. 83 not so much. Marine and Justin surviving this one another lap as Jabraka manages to close up, but only a little bit. Those medium tyres struggling out of last source and all the way up the Eau Rouge and Radiant corners. So maybe, just maybe, there's plenty still to come in this one. 83 will be hoping to be released the same as Ralph was from Ruffy, but taking their share, their turns at the lead of the race, definitely helping with engine, with tyre wear and ERS deployment, of course. Tendo says go GSP, so obviously GSP ahead on the track and ahead in the chat. What have you got to say back, QRT drivers and fans? Any response? Can you get some mentions on the board? Ruffy just back from his teammate now. I'm not worried about who wins as long as the team win overall. GSP on top at the moment. Marine and Behrman challenging each other. And looks like Marine struggling because Behrman and Justin in the pits and Jabraka getting past. So 5 laps on those soft tyres, and the 2 rearmost GSP drivers are calling it quits on the tyres there. Philip will be a lone attacker on the back of these QRT cars. I think Ruffy might be just getting out of the slipstream. I don't think he's going to be able to challenge Ralph into the next corner. No, he's not. Rejoined back with 83, currently chasing down a driver in front. Jabraka has dropped down 2 seconds away from the field, but still pretty close to each other. And I do think it's definitely worth watching to see how Marison is going to manage to get through this one. There's that esports line demonstrated by 83. It goes on the approach to Kuon. Ruffy, third of a second back. If he's going to make a move, it's probably safest now as they go through Le Fania. Yellow flag in sector 2. Is that one of our QRT drivers? I think Jabraka was perhaps a little bit slow through there. So the tyre wear really starting to affect the drivers. I think this is the tipping point for those soft tyres. They're going to be wary of the drivers towards the rear of the field, who will get a big undercut. No pit stops from the drivers, but Philip comes in, and this could be a big deal when it comes to the undercut. Philip could well get the other front running drivers, as those softs are really starting to fade now. You feel on the car. Ralph still in the lead, but it looks like Stephen closing in, and they just need the car in front of them to get further back. Very interesting to see how Philip is going to fare. He's come out and he's stuck behind his teammate, and I would have thought his teammate should release him quite quickly, and they can help drag each other through this race. Yeah, there we go. That's comfortable overtake from Philip as he clears Behrman, and they'll be wanting to help each other on through the track. Philip has got that interesting gap to the leader, down to 19 seconds now, and just be aware of Philip, as I think we'll have all the drivers bunched back together again after the next pit stops if we don't get any safety car issues. Stephen just dropping back from Ruffy slightly, but not dramatically. Try and get you, one of our viewers could try and help us with some live points after the first pit stops. Great to see. As into the pits comes your race leader, Ralph, deciding to go on through, but Stephen comes in and 83, so Ruffy could end up losing out. Marine pitting as well, very much plan A here. And where will Jabraka and Philip, the key one is going to be Philip coming through here to see where he feeds back out with the leaders. It looks like they're on their way out of their pit boxes already. Philip might get one of them. They're on the inside of La Source, and there they all come. Philip will have a better run, and Philip's going to get past Stephen. Looks like possibly Behrman getting past 83 as well, as they will dice and battle, continuing. Going down now the Camel Straight. This is perhaps the biggest moment of the race so far. Stephen with a good grip. It looks like absolute traffic galore. Will QRT profit from all of that? Yes, they will. Fantastic teamwork from QRT as they regain those places lost into Lake Holm. Ruffy then with an 11-second lead over Jabraka. Remember, Jabraka started on the mediums, still on the starting tyre, the same as Ruffy. Now, he could pit now and stay on terms with everybody, or he could ride those mediums as long as they need to go. I fancy he'll probably do the latter and ride off into the sunset really out here, while the new medium tyre runners won't have a huge delta to him. But great teamwork there from QRT, getting themselves back on terms, and it looks like Stephen might have a go at Ralph here, who I think, has he gone into AI? He's got a red X next to his name on my screen at least. So 83 getting up alongside. That's the outside for the next corner. They will do battle around Blanchimont, double left-hander. Little bit of a squeeze. He's fully alongside. He should have the braking zone for the next corner as 83 sneaks at the inside. Bit of contact. Stephen gets by comfortably, and the rest of them sort themselves out. 83 probably not best pleased as he's now forced to the outside and goes for a move round into Lake Com, and into La Source, and a beautiful move there from 83. Looks like Ralph going backwards as Philip gets the overtake done as well, and they scream up Eau Rouge once again. Jabraka out in the lead. Ruffy, Stephen, 83, Philip, and Ralph is your top six. Then Behrman, Justin, Marine, and Marison. Lap 9 of 22. So good chat going on. Good stuff. Can't pretend to read all of it, but I hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope you're enjoying the action so far. It really got spicy there, didn't it, for a little while? And hopefully it's not the end of the drama we will see through the rest of the race. Jabraka continues to lead, but hasn't pitted yet on those 8-lap-old mediums. I'm trying to get a good interval for you, but unfortunately at the moment I don't have my intervals, so I'm trying to use the track map as a guide to who's close to each other. It looks like 83 will get a good run on Stephen here, and they will continue to work together as they have done already. Jabraka entering the bus stop as everybody else is still down the back straight, navigating Blanchimont, but remember, still with a pit stop to pay, and he's got a good chance of getting through a safety car here. New fastest lap for 83. Yeah, he's definitely making use of these new medium tyres. And 83 again, very close here to his teammate. Just keeps staring at the back of his teammate's car. Should get a really nice run here, and DRS open. There's the beep, and screaming on past he goes. So 83 up there into third place now. Oh, but he gets a time penalty coming out of Les Combes. So the first of our track penalties given to the guy who's just got into third place. So big moment for him there, and most unfortunate. So he's got a lot of work to do to work that off when the drivers are so close to one another. Stephen will try to stay on terms with his teammate. It depends how 83 is feeling. Does he think he's got a chance to close in on Ruffy, or does he need to try and keep that DRS for his teammate behind? Interesting team tactics at play here. I wonder if any of our engineers have a comment to make about it, because it's definitely interesting. Ruffy is closing on the back of Jabraka, as you would expect, but the race will come to Jabraka later, and especially if we do get a caution period for him to pit under. 9 laps in so far. Remember, lap 7 was about the limit on the softs on heavy with fuel cars, so 7 or 8 to go will be a sweet spot for his pit stop onto the medium tyres. Stephen close to his teammate. I think Ralph is also close to his. Philip ahead, but the whole field pretty closely packed still. But as I say, a pit stop still to make for Jabraka, who holds provisional lead as QRT go along through the Radion corner. 83 indicating to his teammate that he can pass on by nice and safely as they head into Les Combes. Another exchange of places. It's the fastest way through the race if you can make it work, if you can coordinate it properly. Taking turns with DRS and making passes is exactly what you want to be doing, and they are drawing themselves bit by bit closer to Ruffy, who got away from them a little bit under the first safety cars, under the first pit stop, sorry. QRT on top, but have yet to pit with Jabraka's car. Everybody else pitted, they would think, to the end, although Marison will struggle a little bit to get these mediums to the end, I feel. Marison with a penalty, so QRT with 2 penalties, the only 2 penalties on the board, might be quite significant for the race later on. They definitely need to get on terms with GSP in that department. I wonder if GSP's have been given an instruction from the team boss to make sure that penalties are not racking up. It's definitely a nice, safe way to go about it. Just a reminder to like the video today and subscribe to the channel, where I will post new stuff. If you like the commentary, you can find me on Twitter at WebORed5, and your teams have been tagged in today's post. Now, Ralph getting almost underneath his teammate Philip's car before even the DRS was awarded. 83 up ahead will do exactly the same thing as the lap before and swap places. Nice little interchange there on lap 12. Just a little note that doing this myself out of goodness of my heart. So if you do feel like buying me a drink or sending a tip my way, a link's just been posted in the live chat. You can follow that link if you are feeling generous. No worries if not, if you are enjoying the race nonetheless. Ralph then, P5, now has an opportunity on one of the QRT team and Ruffy continues to get away. You feel like Ruffy has probably got this race taken care of, as now he actually overtakes Jabraka as they go through the Stavolo corners. Jabraka with a problem. Jabraka slowing with a missing front wing, so big drama for Jabraka, who had the lead of the race and is struggling now. Lap 12, his undoing with the front wing. Ruffy takes the lead then, and this opening up slightly here. It's maybe slightly too early for Jabraka to put the softs on comfortably, but he's surviving so far. Unfortunately, quite the opposite of a cheap pit stop. It comes at an incredibly expensive front wing change and a conservative run to the end of this race. You feel with the tyre wear, it's probably a lap or two too early for him. Now here comes Ralph with the DRS on the back of Stephen. Stephen also has DRS, moves to the inside, is going to make him go the long way round as they close in. Will 83 slow on the apex? It looks like Ralph gets by, but they're side by side. A little bit of a touch, the first touch between teams that we've seen tonight, and Stephen holds on. So very exciting lap 12-13 as we near the business end of this race. Difference in line approach to Puon there for Ralph and Stephen. Stephen losing track of his teammate. It depends now. I think 83 needs to wait up a little bit and give that DRS to his teammate. I wonder if the instruction will go out from race control from his team boss or his engineer today to hold up. In fact, it has gone out. Look, he has indeed held up just to keep Stephen within defense range. But it is GSP in first, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh places with a clear lead in this battle, this 5 versus 5 battle between these two relatively newly branded teams. And this is where reputations get built. The foundations are laid in your first few races. All the pit boards outlook down the pit lane, and instructions going out to the drivers. Still bright and sunny day here in Spa as Justin and Behrman swap places, and now will Stephen be able to stay on terms with his teammate? 83 has given up a little bit of the momentum that he's using to try and chase down Ruffy, try and keep his teammate within range and get a double podium for the QRT team. That's their intention. 83 releases his teammate, in fact. Wow, I wasn't expecting that to happen. But more good teamwork going on between the QRT guys. And we've got a nice slipstream battle from third down to seventh for you in the midfield here, as Ruffy tries his best to make it an uninteresting race, which is his prerogative, of course. He can make it as boring as he likes out in front, but he's 2.6 seconds in the lead on lap 14 from Stephen and 83 for QRT. Then, as I mentioned before, all the GSP remaining drivers 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then Marine, Marison, and Jabraka at the tail of the field. Jabraka a long way back thanks to that missing front wing. Presumably some sort of contretemps with Ruffy. I wonder if there'll be a report after the race. We will have to call the result as we see it. Remember though, QRT both with penalties. 83 I think perhaps giving up that place and planning to defend here because he knows he's got the penalty. There was a dive bomb range there for Ralph, but very patient from Ralph. He's got 7-ish laps to go in this race, and the opportunities are starting to run out now, but he'll be hoping to gain as much as possible. I'm not going to show telemetry so that I don't give away the game too much to any race engineers watching on stream. I hope you understand. As they go through Eau Rouge, and Ralph has a good run, but Stephen keeping his teammate happy. Jabraka gets a new fastest lap, and I think there will be a point for fastest lap. I don't think it'll be the decider, but Ralph with a speculative move there, just trying to get 83 offline, but 83 was fairly confident in his track positioning there. So heading towards No Name now. 83's car looking a little bit loose on turn-in. I wonder if we are losing a bit of grip in the battle in the dirty air. Bracker has another penalty, unfortunately, for QRT now. That's 3 QRT cars with penalties. Still plenty of laps to run. And lots of distance with this long old circuit here at Spa. So 83 now slipping back from his teammates slightly. Another QRT penalty. And for anyone in the QRT camp watching, that's obviously a point of feedback or work to do for them, is to get on terms with these penalties. Marison and Jabraka are definitely going to be struggling to feature in this race on those tyres. They're going to have to run way past their normal operating window to finish this race out. But of course we could end up with a safety car, collisions, whatever. Always worth watching to the very bitter end. Ralph just struggling on traction out of La Source, getting a little bit too close for comfort really. He will attack on the way up Eau Rouge, but he's a little bit far back at the moment from 83, who still has that DRS. 83 on the left side, hasn't made a move in defence yet. There he goes. In fact, Stephen's going to let him by. In fact, Stephen blended out of the throttle too much and has handed the momentum over to Ralph. Ralph gets by QRT, and they're in the driving seat, GSP, on lap 16. Stephen now really losing out there, perhaps just blended out of the throttle too late down the Camel Straight, gave the place up, and Ralph didn't need a second invitation, absolutely went for it. So QRT's penalised driver 83, the lead driver for the team at the moment, now 3.2 seconds back from Ruffy. 3-second penalty for Stephen, almost completing the full set for QRT, just Marine driving clean so far from penalties, and it looks like it's very much heading GSP's way. I don't know if this is their debut team versus team battle or not. I know that they're relatively newly branded, but high quality driving throughout the field. See a very small field spread, certainly in the top 8, all within range of each other. 83, 3.4 seconds back from Ruffy. Ralph is very close behind. We ride with him, as now Philip is starting to pressurise Stephen as well. Oh, big mistake from 83, and that opens the door. Was that actually a DRS handover? I think it might have been. I think I might have called a mistake and been wrong. Looks like he was trying to hand the DRS, get the DRS back for himself. It didn't work though. Ralph was awake to it. Looks like GSP making double moves here. What about Philip, who gets both of them? Philip up 2 places and Ralph up 1. Fantastic stuff from GSP, now in first, second and third. Tremendous section. Oh, round goes Stephen, smashing out of the race, retiring from the session. Dramatic stuff from Stephen there. And that will surely bring out the much wanted safety car. Marison will get a free pit stop. Everyone, I fancy, will put soft tyres on for the end of this race. And it's all happening on lap 17. Ruffy, Ralph and Philip away there in first, second and third now. Ruffy with that lead. It's going to close up, but he's got 2 rear gunners behind him. And tremendous stuff from the drivers. Brilliant, exciting driving. Looked like Stephen possibly with dirty tyres getting passed on the outside from Philip. 83 exactly the same, but with these penalties and safety cars into play, I think it's very much in the favour of GSP at this point. Will Ruffy bother with a pit stop? He doesn't need it, but if he knows that other people might come in and put softs on, in comes Ruffy. Does anybody fancy track position? Let's wait and see. Ralph on the way in. 83 on the way in. Anybody at all? No one fancying it. What about Marine? Jabraka surely won't mind, but it won't really make much difference. He needs to put new tyres on. He's burning off fuel as they head down. Everyone in the pits together now. Will anybody have to double stack in the pits, because the pit box allocation is somewhat randomised, and it's not necessarily your teammate that will come in the pits behind you. sometimes you share a pit box with a rival. Oh, drama towards the end of this one, and if you wanted an exciting finish, we're going to have ourselves probably three or even 2 lap sprint at the end of our race. Absolutely everybody pitting, everybody on fresh tyres. Stephen, the trigger point there, Stephen's accident, the trigger point for a bit of drama to enjoy as we finish off this race. GSP with the front 3 positions. Do you know they could even make this a clean sweep looking at the penalties? Orion probably in the best position of all to try and regain a little bit of pride, bit of racing pride there for the QRT team. Of course, we know that the game will definitely give us 2 racing laps at the end. It's just a matter of track position. I think we will probably have the safety car come in at the end of this one if Mylander's feeling kind. Hope you've enjoyed the race with us so far tonight. A lot of fuel burning going on the drivers. Why don't we have another look at the first few moments of the race. Lights out and away. GSP leading as from the start, as they did from the up to this safety car so far, but it was very, very clean getaway for everybody up the straight for the first time. These lights staying on the safety car, so while that's bad news for our race, it's good news if you're a fan of watching back some of the action moments from the race so far. End of lap 1 on the approach to Lake Com. Little bit of a move there. And we have this battle on lap 8 as Stephen got by, almost a mirror image of the type of overtakes we saw later in the race, just most recently, as QRT both got past GSP cars. So brilliant stuff from them. But here we had Stephen fighting with Ralph down through Blanchimont side by side, one of the fastest corners in Grand Prix racing, and heading towards the bus stop. We had a speculative little look from the QRT driver behind, but it didn't quite work out. Still a long way from the end of this lap, so I'll keep going with the replays as here we have QRT on the ascendancy once again. Sorry, that's the same one, isn't it? That was just watching the reaction after that move as they headed down to last source. Around came 83 to regain the place. Next up then, lap 10. This was, I think, the little bit of teamwork between the 2 QRT drivers. Go. Nice teamwork in play. And we saw the run, the reverse of what just what occurred on the previous one. 83 returning the favours to his teammate. Very good teamwork. And I think we will have safety car coming in this lap, so I haven't got time to show you any more, but stay tuned and we'll try and watch the last few replays at the end, because I think we're going to get something special happen towards the end of this one. There's going to be 3 racing laps on brand new soft tyres. Ruffy, Ralph and Philip will take the restart now. If they're smart, if the race engineer is alive to it, they'll coordinate this one, but he goes already. Ruffy held up the field in a big way. 83 going to go for one, down, full send, but it's not quite enough into the bus stop. 83 fighting a lone battle here, and he could end up, as I say, with a clean sweep for GSP. Let's see what they've got as they go down into La Source. We're under green flag orders. There are 2 complete laps to run in this race, and we can't wait to see how it's going to finish. Big question for me, can GSP complete themselves a clean sweep? That would be something special, and definitely something I haven't seen before in these team battles, and I've done a fair few of them. Here comes Justin on 83, just trying to put him off. He's gone offline slightly, 83 there, but wary, leaving a little gap, leaving a little bit of room, and trying to finish this race out and get a result for QRT nonetheless. But it's definitely not going to be easy. They're not going to have it their own way. Ruffy, Ralph and Philip on the podium. I don't think I've even ever seen, wow, big sideways moment there as Justin throws the car into Poumon. So I don't think I've even ever seen a 1-2-3 in one of these races, let alone a clean sweep. I hope that translates across the different languages of the drivers and teams that are taking part tonight. Sorry for my English colloquialisms. It's a force of habit, I'm afraid. 83 is closing on Philip here. He definitely wants his best opportunity. He's very, very close, but it's just not enough. As he's got to be quite careful of Philip's connection there. It's wobbling around a little bit. Fastest lap for Ralph, quickly beaten by Jabraka. That's going to be important as we finish this race out, but it's something to look at the timing screens as we've got 2 complete laps to run. Yeah, Ryan, wait till the end and I'll show you the replay of Stephen getting it all wrong. Change for the lead, Ruffy and Ralph swapping over, but I was trying to focus on the team battles going on around 83 there. Justin, Behrman starting to go. Oh, another issue, another problem for this time Jabraka. Jabraka slamming into the wall in Malmedy, and it's happened all over again. Very, very similar to where Stephen got it wrong, and it's definitely a bit of a cursed corner for QRT tonight. He manages to avoid a big retirement, but I think that's absolutely Jabraka's race front. 83 completely on his own here and trying to finish this one with a sense of pride for the team. He's going to do well to finish even in front of a single GSP car after penalties, but he's going to try. Best way to do it is, of course, to make up places and try and put your rivals offline, make them trip over the warning. Would he go for a move here? He's actually got to look behind him as Justin is closing in. Justin can really help dissuade the team as we enter our final lap. Ruffy, Ralph, Philip, 83, Justin. Marine gets by Behrman, and Marine might just about rescue this one for QRT in terms of getting better than 5th place. 83 now closing in through Eau Rouge on the back of Philip once again, but there is a DRS train in operation. Looks like Behrman getting past. Yeah, Behrman with a move. Oh, a big moment for Justin. Justin turned around, battling with 83. I think 83 had the corner by the look of the fact that Justin got turned around. It's usually the way it works. Yeah, 83 just holding on at the moment. But remember, he's got that penalty to pay. Ruffy into sector 2. Approaching the end of sector 2 with the lead of this race, 6/10. I don't know if anyone is feeling kind or feeling like doing favours for their teammate, but the big battle appears to be between Marine and Behrman here on the final lap. But we're almost done. The leaders are heading on through Blanchimont for the final time. GSP absolutely bossing this one, looking like they are going to be the guys to beat when it comes to esports 5 versus 5 battles. Ruffy will take the win and GSP will take a complete podium. Fantastic stuff from GSP. Behrman getting it at the end. I think Ralph picked up a quick penalty. Marine gets fourth and just saves space for QRT. Big moment into the bus stop at the end of the race as Justin and 83 come together. That's a little suspicious, but up at the front, the top 5 places very much taken by high quality driving and racers. Looks like Jabraka just finishing this one off. I didn't see what happened between. Oh, Jabraka's lost his front wing again on this final lap. And it looks like Ruffy, Philip, Behrman, Marine, Ralph, 83 is your finishing order. And through to finish the race off comes Jabraka. Finished it off and did it in style, of course. Well, brilliant ending. Remember, I've got a few replays left to show you. If you want to see all of them, then you go back to the safety car period where you can see the replays that I did. Oh dear me, I haven't seen this one make an appearance yet. The Caped Crusader for GSP wins. It's a 1, 2, 3 for GSP, and a fantastic performance from the guys. German sim racing program. Congratulations to them. Very, very strong race. Not a single penalty was awarded in the certainly until the last corner for the entire team. There goes Ruffy with the win from Philip and Behrman. Marine for QRT finished 4th and protected a little bit of racing pride. Fastest lap also went to GSP for Ralph, then 83 with his 3-second penalty. And Justin seemingly coming together in the bus stop at the end of the race. Marison, Jabraka and Stephen, of course, we lost. Jabraka and Stephen both coming into difficulty through Malmedy, unfortunately. So let's just finish off those replays for you. This was lap 12. Do hope you've enjoyed it today. Reminder, I am WebORed5 on Twitter and Discord and everywhere else. Let's have a look then. Was this the double move from GSP? No, this was just Ralph fighting side by side with Stephen. I think this was the undoing of Stephen here on lap 13. He's offline. No, it was another lap, but a good defense on that particular one from Stephen. Next up, it's lap 14. And thanks to Behrman for the thank you. That's kind. Very good. Hope you enjoyed it. There was a little bit of team interplay going on. I could just about read Danke für den Stream. Just about. My German's not amazing. This is it for me. This was the move. Brilliant stuff from Ralph up the inside of Stephen. Now, is this where Stephen went offline? Through Malmedy. Now survived that time. Pretty sure it's the next one or another one. Here was the double move from GSP. Fantastic stuff. Getting up by 2 cars. Overtaking 2 cars. Brilliant, brilliant coordination. And that's all she wrote, folks. I've been Webbo. And it's been a pleasure to do this for QRT and for the race winners overall. GSP dominant today in Spa. And who will take them on next time, I wonder. Well, until next time, everybody, I will catch you on the next race day. Good night.